4 stakeholder meetings. More than 200 folks participated around the state at the small local meetings or through a webinar to see what their input was. Impressively, we think we got at least 96 different industries and entities working on that. I know this is small print, but it gives you an idea of how many different folks were represented at that to make sure we got all the input we needed before we designed the program, so that we weren't doing it in a closed room, building on only our own expertise, but bringing folks in to make sure we had the input that we needed. And I think we got that. We had tremendous participation, and it is that participation that informed what became the process. I think for all of the stimulus package, and specifically for this piece, we've thought about the strategic positioning. What are the investments that we can make that can achieve those goals of attracting new investment? We want to build on what's here. We understand that it would be foolish to ignore what's already in place and just try to attract new. We have enormous potential on what's here. But we know that we want to bring in anchor firms that can help that supply chain grow, can give our supply chain in Ohio someone to feed their component parts to. All of this leads to really creating an advanced energy sector in the Ohio economy that will produce investment and will produce jobs, and it really meets the needs of the workforce as we move forward. $150 million is a lot of public dollars to be investing, but in the field of advanced energy technologies, it really is a drop in the bucket. And so it's absolutely essential that when we look at projects, they be able to make a convincing case to us about why the state investment of whatever amount it is at this particular time makes a difference to that project. So does it take them to the next phase of their commercialization? Does it provide a bridge that gets them from where they are now into long-term funding? Probably a particularly important challenge given the volatility of the credit markets today. Does it lead to an expansion in Ohio? Does it have breakthrough potential? Maybe a little higher risk, but if it pays off, does it have real solid potential in the state of Ohio? The key for all of this, obviously, given the name of the program, is jobs. What does any specific project do for the workforce? Our primary target, without question, is new jobs. Those will be more highly valuable than retained jobs, but we know retained jobs are important as well. Construction jobs are going to play a role in this. Construction jobs are always an important contribution to any kind of an economic stimulus package because they can be put in place relatively quickly. They get money flowing in the economy and they allow you to prepare for the recovery. But we also want to create full-time jobs. Some of those jobs are going to be one-off jobs or what we're calling contained job creation. So here's a project that's going to create, say, 50 jobs, but that's really as far as it's going to go. That's a contribution to the economy. But a better contribution is what we're calling foundational jobs. Are these jobs that raise the prospect that future investment, future jobs will develop around them? That's really the notion of an anchor firm or an anchor company that drives a much larger supply chain around it and gets us much more economic value over the coming years. Higher wages. We believe the advanced energy technology area offers the possibility for very good jobs, and so we're going to be giving higher value in our evaluation process to jobs that are above the local average or above the statewide average, or that bring in or provide opportunities for populations that right now are either underemployed or unemployed or in parts of the state that have not seen sufficient investment. Does the project, when we look at it, reach out into those areas that need additional attention? Obviously, and this is part of our challenge, is leverage. The state's investment by itself will not be sufficient in most cases to make a project work. So we're going to be looking at those programs that bring other dollars to the table, whether that be other public sources, non-governmental organization sources, or most importantly, private sources to leverage our investment. Absolute minimum that we need to see is a one-to-one match here. We're really going to give much higher credit in an evaluation process to firms that can come in at the 2-to-1, 3-to-1 level or higher to make sure that this $150 million goes as far as is possible.